Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Thursday's Facebook Live. I hope you're all well. We're going to have some fun with Brushos this evening. For anyone who hasn't heard of Brushos before, you'll see them in the spring summer catalogue from Stampin Up, and there they are. It's £27. You get 5 colours, so all of your primary colours basically, and then we'll call them other things like brilliant red, I don't know how you say that, gamboge, moss green, Prussian blue and yellow, and they are a lot of fun. So I'll show you in a moment, but there's no sort of right and wrong to them. I like to use them in quite a subtle way, but you can get some really other stronger effects, like you can see here. And in the catalogue they've used it to highlight an embossed image, which is really pretty. They've used the Beautiful Day products there, and the aqua painters. The aqua painters or the spritzers are your friends with these Brushos. This is what I'm going to be showing you this evening, and it combines the Brushos. As you can see, I go quite subtle with them, and the Myths and Magic glimmer paper, using the blue and green there, which I've matched to the Brushos. I'm going to be using the detailed Dragonfly Thinlits, but I'm just going to use this one here. I'll just check my computer. Hello, if you're just joining, haven't started anything yet. And this is the others that you get. You get like a bold one in there, and then you get the bigger detailed ones. You get like a string of dragonflies, and then you get a bee as well, which coordinates with the stamp set. It's really nice, and it's really nice sentiments as well. So I've used To a Wonderful Friend on this one, and it's good for birthdays, or just to thank someone for being a great friend. One of those just because cards, but just the stamps and the dies work beautifully individually, and are even better together. So I think we'll get started on the Brusho first, and I'm going to use thick Whisper White. I have tried it on regular weight Whisper White, and it will sort of make the card kind of bubble up as you spritz it. And there's all sorts of different ways that you can use the Brushos. You can wet the card first, but I'm actually going to put the Brusho on dry. When you get them, you don't need to open the pots. You just pierce a hole in the top and then use a push pin in there, because you literally only need just a few spots of it. In terms of card, again, you can obviously use your watercolour card. This is one I did on a bit of watercolour before, and your shimmer cardstock is also really nice for that. But let's get going with a little bit of brushoing. So I've got my Brusho blue and green, moss green I should say, and Prussian blue, and I've got my spritzer, which is literally just got water in it. Nothing magical about that. And there's no right and wrong. I'm just going to put some on. Just tap it on. This is really very heavily pigmented paint, think of it that way, in powder form. And this is the green, which looks a bit sort of orangey yellow before you add water. And that's enough for me. As I say, I don't like having wild amounts of Brusho. And now I'm going to let the magic happen with my water. So spray. And now what I like to do, it's pretty, isn't it? You can see how it changes the colour in there. I'll just show you a little bit closer up. Sorry if the lighting's not amazing. So that's changed the colour to much more vibrant colours. And then because I don't really want it to all trickle down, I kind of want it like that. So I haven't put a huge amount of water on, and then I like to dab it because I want to keep it as it is. And then obviously your background will be different every single time, and there are sort of subtly other colours mixed in, not that you can see it, but it just adds to that depth of colour. And yeah, I really like this more subtle effect. Hi Kim, how you doing? I expect you've tried Brushos, haven't you? It took me a little while, but now I'm a bit of a convert. So that is the background made. It's quick and as simple as that. And I'm going to go ahead and die cut my dragonflies now. So this is the card that we're aiming for. So the card is from, this glimmer card is from the Myths and Magic. So you can see I've cut one out there before. Oh, that's good. A couple of times, only a couple. I'm glad you're well. Yeah, so this glimmer that I've got as the matte, I've actually gutted that so that I'm not wasting any. Not only just that I'm not wasting any, but it also makes it easier to stick it on. So that is the inside, and I'll show you how I did that. For now, I will just die cut those dragonflies. Well, I might as well use that bit. And I've got my precision base plate in, because as you can see, the dragonfly is quite intricate. The desk will wobble when I run these through. So let's do the green one first. Run that through. I'm going to run it through and then back. Thanks, Kim. Right, you might feel a bit seasick for a sec. Okay, that's one. So I need to use my I'm going to use, I don't know if you can see me now. Put that to one side because you don't really need to see me. Run the other one through, but I will be die cutting the other one. I'll just get rid of these bits and pieces. Move my little spongy mat thing. I'll try and hold you steady while I do this. There's not really any other way of doing it. And those bits come out thanks to the precision base plate. As you can see, the glimmer is quite thick. Still got a couple of bits that I'll get out there with my pokey tool in a sec. Let's run the blue one through. I'm not going far. Well, you'll know I'm cutting it out because the desk will wobble again. Plate will be handy. Okay, just one more turn and then you'll stop wobbling. Okay, that is the wobbling part of this over. Oh yeah, the plate really does help. So frustrating, isn't it, when you cut something out, or you think you've cut something out and it hasn't. And this is strangely therapeutic, isn't it, this die brush malarkey. I don't know why it would be so fun, but it is. And I quite like it when I have to poke a couple of bits out as well. That's also quite therapeutic. I have to get my pokey tool in there. Right. Even the bits that come out are pretty, aren't they? Right. Expect I'll find them over my floor later. Right, where is my trusty pokey tool? Just make sure I've got everything. Coming out nicely. It's those edgy bits, isn't it? Okay. This bit's being a bit stubborn. It's because I was naughty and didn't put it on the side of the plate. I like to be a bit wild like that. Right, let's try and remain just slightly tidy. So we have our dragonflies and we have our hi Linda, how are you? I'm sorry I've got green out but it's pretty. So we've got our Brusho background and we've got our dragonflies, and I want to just have the bottom one will be the blue one, and I'm going to kind of dismember it a little bit because I'm just going to lay that over the top like that, and I want to go a bit higher than I did on that one. So I'll show you next how I'm going to take the middle out of this to make the mat. I need my trusty trimmer for that. You're not allowed to run away, you know that. It's not going to be that bad. So I'm turning it over the other way, and then I'm going to cut it to 10 like I would for a normal mat, by 14.4 in centimetres. I'm sure I can find a use for these. Well, I'll definitely find a use for that because that's big. That's definitely not a throwaway piece, and I can probably find a use for that bit too. And of course, your die cuts can always be, the negative can always be something that you can sponge with as well, use them as stencils. So still on the white side, I'm going to line up with, on the right hand side, on the 1 centimetre on the trimmer, 1 centimetre on the right hand side, and then also 1 centimetre in. You see that little notchy bit there on the trimmer blade? That's a technical term. I'm going to go down, and then I'm going to go about 1 centimetre up as well, from the bottom. It doesn't have to be that precise as long as I've got even edges. Obviously once I've matted it. And then I'll just line that up again on the 1 centimetre. And bring it down. Turn to the other side. Because my brushed piece is back to the size I want to, I'll only show the amount of edge that I want to from the glimmer. I hope that makes some sort of sense. Right, so there is the middle, and there is the outside. You could do like a photo booth. Let's do a dragonfly photo booth. Ta-da! The dragonfly needs to be holding something funny. Anyway, enough of my ramblings about dragonfly photo booths. So that means you haven't wasted any, and you can stick it more easily as well without it being all glittery underneath. I'm sorry, I've got more green. Seems to be becoming a bit of a habit of mine. I'm just going to score this. I still need to stamp my sentiment actually. Stay focused, Esther. Right, I'm going to score this at 10.5. That's a card. Now, let's do some sentiment. I want to choose one for the inside as well. I should have my little strip that I buried. Right. I'll use this and cut this down for the sentiment on the front. So I'm going to do the same thing to a wonderful friend. I'm just going to stamp that in black. Memento. I'm going to get a bit of, oh that's right, a bit of Brusho on there. It goes with the theme. I'll just do that about there and trim it down. Let's just let that do its thing for a sec. Now I need to choose one for the inside. So I've got, for a wonderful friend, what should we do? Enjoy your special day? How's that sound? It's quite nice, isn't it? Enjoy your special day. Oh, I obviously use, that's obviously the one I use. Right, let's do one I haven't inked up. That's my new rule, trying to ink everything. Leave no stamp uninked. I'm just going to wheel myself to get a block. Probably one that's reasonably the same size as that. Thanks for the smile and everything else. Thank you for being a friend. Right. Let's put this in there. Let's actually go even more crazy and do a little border. She might like to. I will clean my stamp, I promise. Let's grab a little bit of lemon lime twist and do a little border. with these dotties. So easily done, isn't it? We collect our stamps and then we think, it's not actually been inked up yet. So yeah, I'm on a bit of a mission. Right, now I've got a conundrum because I don't know which side I want to do that. It's a crisis. Right, I'm going to do there. Do you there? Do you? Oh, look at that. Gonna have to go back over. It doesn't matter. Should have had my stamp apparatus. Okay, so we do the other side as well. Actually try and apply a little bit of pressure like I've stamped before. There. I'll just have to try and not stick it in that way around, as is my want. Okay. Now I want to just trim down the first sentiment. Just a little strip size. Ooh. My blade. Is that going to be too thick? Let's trim a little bit off. This is where you cut the top of the sentiment off and you just have to start again. Excuse my little bit of faffing. In the name of art. Okay. Don't know if that's actually straight. Let's go for the wonky look if it's not. Let's do a little bit of assembling. Obviously I'm not going to leave that long. All this glitter clicking about. Exciting. Right. I need my frame. Let's get that out so I can actually remember what I did the first time round. Frame goes on first. Just with a little bit of liquid glue. Keep forgetting this is quite a new bottle. You sort of get used to squeezing one that's running out and then you forget you've got a new bottle of glue that you don't need to press so hard. Right, let's lay that down. There's that layer, and then I'm going to add my Brusho layer with a little bit of fast fuse. So I'm going to do the edges, but I'm also going to do the middle, which I wouldn't ordinarily do, but just because it might not be holding on the edges as much as it would usually because of the glimmer. Just lay that over the top. Just bring that towards me a bit because I can't see. Down. I think I got there. I'm always messy. There's literally not a video that I make where I'm not messy. Right, now I need to find my dragonflies, and the blue one is going to get a little bit mutilated, so I'm going to cut. I'm not really usually in the habit of cutting bits of dragonflies. I'm just going to cut off the tail and the head, but the rest is allowed to stay. The rest got a reprieve. Shock horror! I am wild like that. I'm just going to put a little bit on the wings. Oh, I've got a little rogue bit in there. He needs to come off. Lost your tail, you might as well lose that bit. Okay. I'll sort of go there. It's over now. I'm going to cover it up. It's okay. I'm going to cover it up with this whole one, which I'm going to leave without killing. Right. Don't let me glue the wings. Just the body. It's just the body, just the body, just the body. Okay, lay that over the top. Again, that should lay down because you've got the tail and the head that I direct onto the card rather than the glimmer, and then I just lift those wings up. Squished a bit of my glue out. I'll sort that later. Let that do its drying thing. Now I want the sentiment. It's over. Yeah, you can relax. You don't have to watch behind that cushion anymore. Right, let's just hold. I'm just going to hold it to here to sort of work out where I want to cut that. I'm just going to fishtail the ends, because why not? Could even try doing it straight. And that's going to go on with dimensionals. Let's move you out of the way. Three should do it. And sentiment I put onto regular Whisper White, and the Brusho onto thick Whisper White. Just pop you about there. Just lift up. I can't see if I'm straight. The whole sentiment's a bit wonk, but hey. And now I want some sequins. Fan Dabby Dozy adhesive backed sequins. What's happened to those? They can go bent. Sort of randomly placed, carrying the whole blue and green theme through. What is that bit that keeps running back to me? Making sure that you grab the adhesive underneath. So I'm going to go a little bit different to what I did on the sample. The problem when you're just using two colours, they always end up sort of diagonal from each other. But And now I'm going to use these clear epoxy shapes. So this one has got slight glitter in it. Don't know if I can, if you can pick that up. And then you've got ones that are completely clear. You can tell that I kind of gravitate towards the glittery ones a bit more. And I'll just put a few of those on. If they actually want to come off. And you can go sort of there. You've got two sizes as well. They're very slippery. You can go there, and then I want a smaller one. Come on, you know you want to. There is fine. So that is the card done. I just want to put my sentiment in the middle, which I've covered. Remember the right way up. To a wonderful friend, thanks for the smile and everything else. Thanks for all the glitter. Yes, here's my... Hi Bridget, how are you? You've missed me cutting up the dragonfly, it's all safe now. Apart from the green bits. But it's not green, we talked about this already, okay? We talked about this before. This is more yellow, isn't it, than green? We don't say that G word. And it's sparkly, which, you know, means you can forgive it a lot of things. Why have I always got bits that I don't want? Ignore that. There we are. Brushos, glitter, sequins, and more glitter on the epoxy shapes. Sparkly. So whoever hasn't had a go with Brushos, do it. It doesn't have to be wild. Here's my sample one. And here was another wilder sort of play I had with Brushos onto watercolour card. But it's fine. It's fine on regular card as long as you don't saturate it. Thank you, Linda. Even though it's got that sort of green which is more yellow, you still like it, so thank you very much. I appreciate that. So we are sparkling. I was going to tell you something else. It's gone. Don't forget that the ordering for the Stampin' Blends will be turned off tomorrow at 6, which is big boo-hoo, but they have to catch up on stock. So hopefully they will be back May time. Yeah, so order them if there's something you really, really need. If you haven't got Brushos yet, you need those, don't you, Linda? They are lots of fun. I resisted the urge for quite a while, and I gave in, like I do with most Stampin' Up goodies. You've only... Sorry, I'm just reading your comment, Bridget. Got brushes, but it always seem to look a mess when you use them. Well, it depends how you're using them, and it probably isn't a mess. It's just one of those things that you have to know it's going to look random. So it depends if you like that kind of look. I don't like them used really heavily. That's just not my style. So this I did by, I'll get another bit of card and I'll show you what I did. So I just got my powders lightly sprinkled. Does mean I need to find the water spritzer. Yeah, I've got that. Yeah, so that's enough for me. Then spray, and so that it doesn't trickle down anymore. Creative mess, yeah, those are the best kind of messes. And then I like to just dab it off with kitchen towel so that doesn't really spread anymore. And that's all I do, and obviously you can dry that with your heat tool as well if you want to. And that if you wet it first, let's try some other colours. Then it's going to do that. Give you a totally different look again. Then if you wet it and just let it do its thing, put a bit more water on, rather than drying it, let's see, with more water. The longer you leave that, the more, see, it will change until it's dry, and then that will just sort of all trickle down. Add a bit more water. That's probably when you're going to need like your shimmer card or your watercolour. So that's kind of the different looks. So it depends if you want subtle. I guess it depends on your on the project you're making as well. I don't really want it sort of to detract too much either from the project. I mean, if you're making a big, just making a big background, and then you want to just put a sentiment on, then that's perfect. I'll just get my aqua painter. You can actually be more directional with it as well. So say if you stamped something, this works really well if you're embossing, like a clear emboss or something. Just grabbing whatever's near to me, not doing this with any particular rhyme or reason, just illustrating. No, it's not really the right size, but you'll get the idea. No, you won't get the idea when I can't stamp it. Just want the wings ready. So imagine that embossed, and you can kind of more once you put your Brushos on, or even wet it first, then you can sort of put that where you want it and use it more like a traditional we'll wet that first, like a more of a traditional water colour. And then if you're die cutting that, it won't matter if you've gone out the lines. particularly. Just colour to your heart's content. And that's quite nice for that dragonfly type thing. So you could just go all the way out if you wanted to, if you're going to die cut it or fussy cut it. So that's another way of using it. So just play around, have fun with it. I mean, some might say they like it just like that. It depends what your taste is, but don't be afraid to just give it a try, and or worry that you think it looks untidy. It's kind of just meant to look a little bit more free-flowing, less of a structured effect. But anyway, I will love you and leave you. Thanks so much for watching and for chatting to me so that I don't have to sit here and talk to myself. I hope you have a great rest of the evening and a good weekend, which starts tomorrow. Yay! Take care, everybody. Lots of love. Bye bye.